Hey, how's it going? It's Bree, and I'm here today with only my eyeshadow on and lashes and my eyebrows so that I can talk to you about the new Maybelline Superstay foundation. I was at work last night, folding clothes and working, whenever I happened to just pass by the makeup and saw that we had this in, and I was just about to buy it from Ulta for $11.99, but my store had it for $10.99, and I get 10% off, so I bought it. I've seen a couple videos on this. I've seen like Nikki Tutorials do a video on it, and Makeup by Amory, I think I've seen a makeup tutorial using this foundation, and I've heard good and bad things about it. I've heard that this foundation is really high coverage, and it's pretty much the most high coverage foundation they've used from the drugstore. I've heard that it does oxidize a little though, so I'm scared about that because I'm pale, and I got the shade 110 Fair Porcelain, which is of course the lightest shade they have, and it still looks, I don't know, it looks a little dark to me, and so if it oxidizes any, I'm a little scared, but we never know until we just apply it to the face. So I have moisturized my face today, but I have heard that it's a little drying. So I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is pretty much like my fave. So just a little like skin history on me. I grew up in Alabama, Roll Tide, and I had super oily skin because the humidity there is like completely insane. My hair was frizzy every single day of my life. And I ended up moving out here to Utah to be with my wife, and whenever I did that, the air here, there's like no humidity, it's super dry, the water is hard water, and it's just like, I don't know, the air quality, so it dried my skin out. I'm like the Sahara Desert, and right now I don't have any like active breakouts on my face. I have a couple I'm like recovering from right here. I have a couple dry patches down here. So now that we have our Too Faced primer all over our face, I'm gonna just go ahead and start going in today with the foundation. Let's just see how it's kind of like a thick formula. Today I am going to be doing my foundation with the L'Oreal Beauty Sponge. It's got a couple hairs in it because I have a lot of cats. But other than that, yeah, it's clean. It's just stained a little bit. It is squishy. It's not as soft as the Beauty Blender, but I like it. I go in between this one and my Real Techniques one and the Beauty Blender like all the time. So I am going to use this sponge on the whole part of my face. I don't use half brush, half sponge, because I feel like the brush would rub against your dry skin, and it emphasizes texture, emphasizes flakes. So like the beauty sponge is pretty much the best way to go for my personal preferences. But yeah, I'm just gonna take some up and just start going to town. And I normally I have a lot of redness here, and I have a lot of freckles. I normally color correct all that, but today I'm just seeing what this foundation has in it. And I'll be doing a couple of check-ins too today. I'm taking my mother-in-law out for her birthday. We're gonna go to lunch. My wife and her husband are both at work. So far, it's looking pretty good on my skin. I'm a little scared because they were saying that it is dry. It's a pretty good color match too, so as long as it doesn't oxidize, I think we'll be good. Okay, this is just what it's looking like with just 2 pumps. I am out, so I'm gonna do 2 more, and we'll see. So since this is already like a matte formula, I'm not going to set my whole face. I'm only going to set my under eyes whenever I do put on my concealer. This foundation, it does have a pretty good coverage on it. It is looking dry on my skin though. Maybe if I went in with a more heavy moisturizer, it would help. I did exfoliate before I did this, and it's still kind of looking like I've already powdered my face. I don't use a lot of powder though. It doesn't look bad. I just prefer a more dewy look, so I could always try mixing in some like dewy drops in, like the Cover FX drops, and mixing it with other dewy foundations. I will be doing that, and I'll update whether it's good or not. Looking pretty good so far though. Something that I do like to do is, if my foundation is looking a little dry, I'll just take my setting spray. Right now I'm using the CoverGirl Lock It Up one, and just kind of spray my beauty sponge and then kind of lightly dab over it. That'll kind of help it like sink in with your skin more, I feel like, anyways. So now that we have the foundation done, I'm just gonna take my two concealers and conceal my under eyes. Yeah, and so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this ColourPop No Filter concealer and just go like that. This is their lightest shade, Fair 5, and it is a little too dark for me, a little too yellow for me, but I just take the BH Cosmetic Studio Pro in white and just a little bit. Oh, too much. So far, it hasn't oxidized any on me, that I can tell anyways. It is working well with these concealers going over top of it. It's not acting weird or picking up any of the foundation. Okay, so now that we do have that, I'm going to take the Fit Me powder in Fair, of course, and I'm just going to tap off. This is a messy powder. It's good though. And just put a little bit on my beauty sponge. And then that's all that we're setting today, because I'm not trying to look dry. So I'm just gonna take this brush from, it's a crown brush. It doesn't have a number or anything on it. It's just one that I got in my Ipsy bag. And I'm gonna just set away. I don't like to leave my bake on for long because it does dry me out. But this Fit Me powder is pretty good at not being so drying. My eyebrows look so gray right now, so I'm going to run some brow gel through it. Okay, now that my brows are looking a little less grandma-ish, I'm just going to continue on and go ahead and start by contouring my face. And I just used the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. Right now I'm just kind of seeing how products blend over this with it not being set. And yeah, so far this is good. There isn't any patchiness. It's blending out pretty good. I suck at contouring, but I mean, that's my fault, not the foundation's fault. Okay, so next I'm going to take the Milani blush in Luminoso and just run that lightly on my cheeks. Huh. I said lightly take the blush. Oh well. Today we're going for that clown look. And now, if you mess up, like I always do, I can take a large powder brush, and just lightly go in and blend over it. This doesn't have any product on it. It's just kind of taking away some of that blush, kind of toning it down just a little bit. So yeah, this is toned down blush for me, I guess. And so next, I'm very excited because I got these two things in my Ipsy. This freaking brush is a freaking cute. It also has cat hair in it, but it's so pretty. I don't have a highlighting brush like this. I've been wanting it. And also they gave me the Mary Lou Luminizer by The Balm, and I've been wanting to try this. My friend Michelle has this and she really likes it. So that's what we're going to use for our highlighter today. Put some on the brush. It's just like a nice yellow toned highlighter. I really like it. Nothing too in your face, but still pretty. Okay, so this is my finished look for the day. Again, it's nothing too fancy. I'm just going out to lunch and I might go to the mall. So I'll check in with you later, and this is it so far. You can still see some blemishes. I have a not a pimple, but it's like a scar that's still showing through. I have kind of like a mole over here that's kind of showing, and you can still see my freckles, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't saying oh, I'm full coverage, but the finish is pretty. I like it. I'll see how I feel about it later. See ya. Okay, so this is my update on my skin. It's still looking pretty good. It's a little weird in my nose area, but I have issues there. But other than that, it's looking okay. There's a lot of people looking at me. I'm just at a parking spot, so I'm gonna go. So after a full day of wear, I can say that I pretty much really like this foundation, and I recommend it. We're really good without having to powder it down or anything on my dry skin. I'm sure it would be super good with people with oily skin. I don't think it's as high coverage as it's meant to be, but other than that, it's good. So I hope you guys enjoy, and stay awesome, stay beautiful.